trying to cope.
Our cats still haven't caught up.
It should be like Arizona and not do the time change.
Arizona doesn't do the time change?
Nope.
They're just shitters.
Huh? That's weird.
They stay at the same time all year long.
I don't care that it gets dark earlier or
Is that like
brighter
actually
earlier.
a cool
Screw it.
geography thing, or they just decide not to participate?
No, they just
Yeah,
decide.
They're in the middle of farm
take
country,
part in.
too.
They don't take part in daylight savings time.
I mean,
That's
smart
weird.
people wouldn't.
That's true.
But
yeah.
I mean, you need to for like world trading.
No.
Like,
No, they don't.
No, we only do it in North America.
I don't understand.
Because it was done for the farmers, right? So there was another hour of daylight?
I don't know
So-
why it was. I just know that it was.
Literally, it's only like
Changed.
Canada and the States, I think, that does it.
Maybe Mexico, but I'd put
Yeah.
that as a maybe.
I'd say maybe, man. You didn't believe me?
Well, I just thought I'd Google it.
They don't have it anywhere else. Yeah, it's just US and Canada.
Not saying I
Fuck.
don't believe you, but I am saying I'm looking if you're wrong.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, I thought I was right, but I've actually been wrong and had misinformation, so you never know. It's always good to check.
Okay, so let's get this show on the road.
Yes, let's.
Yes. So good evening, everyone. Welcome back to another late night here on the East Coast. How y'all doing?
Of Canada.
That's right. I don't know if we've said in Canada for a very long time. It certainly was the original script, I think. When last we left off, oof, boy, did some shit go down. You want to do anyone want to do a quick recap? We borrowed do get us back in
Well,
the
we can
mood.
have somebody other than borrowed for frickin' once.
Okay.
Does
Fox.
anybody else have notes?
Fox, you wanna give us a little recap of?
Not really.
Okay. I was like, what
I
the
guess
fuck,
it
aliens?
falls to me. So, where we last left off, we had just cleared out the mansion, which you're probably seeing on your screens now. We were up on the second floor in the study, room 6. The little green line that's sitting next to the ping I just made. We had a member who walked through a gate and found themselves in a world unknown and unrecognizable. However, that is the exact moment where we left off. We're picking up now. George walked through the gate thinking it was going to be his very last moment, a moment of sacrifice, of the end of a long life and a quick end to what would otherwise be a drawn-out, painful one. And instead, a pioneer, a vanguard of something yet to come. What will George find? Who knows? Fred, Elizabeth, and Ray are certainly sitting outside and wondering what the hell they just witnessed, and if they should even attempt to follow. And that's where we pick off.
Oh, I love that. That was good. I also just want to say before we get going, Fox, I don't know if you remember, but like your little speech there when George sort of handed all his weapons over and said, "You know what, guys? Like, this is my last hurrah. I'm going in." That was pretty good. I like that. It's probably my favorite moment in our little scenario here. For Georgie, though, he will fucking die.
Of course.
Maybe not.
It's
He might be
doubly
okay.
damning, too, because when you give over all your weaponry and then you stop and you're like, that's the end. Just kidding. That was just the first book. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Though I think I would
no.
still have some of the like flame stuff, like my lighter and the alcohol to set things on fire if need be.
Okay, yeah. I could say you probably have enough for a Molotov. 'Cause you handed off because you had a pistol. You gave that away, right?
Yes.
So you were completely unarmed except for potentially a Molotov.
Yes.
Well, you're armed and you have a source of light.
Oh, nice. And you could also just get wasted if it's too much. You know?
Unless it's gasoline, in which case, I mean, you still could get wasted. It's just, organ failure.
Go along with the cancer.
Yeah, true. All right. And so I think we'll start with George and then we'll cut back to our other characters because George entered this other dimension and I don't quite remember how I described it, but I sort of just like the stench of rot, something that I feel like would be coming through, and as you're stepping through, it's there's a lot of heat and then a cold, and everything around you now feels like a little chilly, like enough to sort of give you goosebumps, and you're stepping, and the ground underneath you is crackling, and it's like a sand or a very like thinly sliced pieces of rock. You're
Is
sort
it
of
black sand?
It is. Yeah, sand here is black. Good call there. Good catch. And it's kind of like if you're stepping on a whole bunch of slate, and it's just like crunch, crunch, crunch under your feet as you make your way forward, carved into the rock, or sort of out of it, like a sort of alien Petra, is this massive gateway and sort of entrance to a cityscape. There's one large passage ahead of you, and spiraling off in different directions, not always from the ground, some in the ceiling, some halfway up the wall, are these like fissures and tunnels that have been carved or hewn, or perhaps have always been there. They spiral off in 1,000 different directions. But George keeps going forward, feels sort of pulled towards the main entrance. And as you go forward, you see a grand gate, like that of a sort of Catholic cathedral from like the old world, like something you'd see perhaps in Italy, and a solemn figure standing there.
I mean, is there much light down here at all?
Good question. So it's pitch black, but in that sort of like middle of the night pitch black where you can almost see. But coming from behind this gate, it's almost as if there's a bonfire of light sort of bursting behind this figure. And so I think that's pretty much like the primary light you're using to see.
Okay, is there anything personally I can observe here? Because it's not really a lot of light other than just a figure.
No, if you sort of move closer, you might be able to see him better, or you could go ahead and roll a, I believe, observation. Second here. Yeah, your perception. Sorry, observe a situation. Nice.
Makes sense.
So with the light behind the figure, all you see is a silhouette, a shadowed form, standing, probably 5'6", if you had to guess. They look rather bulky, if they were wearing some heavy clothing.
I mean, I guess there's not really much to do other than like move a little bit closer and see if you can actually see anything.
Yep. So as you approach, the figure takes note of you and turns in your direction, and as you walk, you come across a giant staircase, and step down towards it, and it's just watching you. Its body always standing straight, but its head following your movements carefully. And it's at this point that you recognize is wearing Roman legionnaire armor. It brandishes a sword, specifically a gladius, as you would know because you've seen one previously.
Mm, I mean, I already tried to observe, so I can't really observe the situation. I can't read a person either because it's like -2. That would be horrible.
But you could attempt to. So you describe what you want to do for me, and let's help you do that. Like, how do you see George approaching this figure? Does he stop halfway? Like, what's his plan?
I mean, he's trying to figure out if this is something dangerous or if it's just gonna stand there and observe him. You know what I mean?
Okay. So yeah, you can go ahead and try and read a person, which George isn't great at, but you know. Nice. Damn. Wow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good success considering most of the time I run like what 14s. Is that my
Yeah,
most common
you
one?
rolled like an 18 there. So George stops for a minute and like really, squints his eyes and stares into this thing, and it appears to be a corpse. Not fully a skeleton, but certainly some amounts of the flesh have rotted away, and it seems to be decaying. And it stares at him, and he does recognize some intelligence in this creature. And it noticing that they're sort of making eye contact, and he's sort of sussing out the situation. It barks out Latin at him, and he pieces together some of the words, and essentially gets the idea that it's asking why he comes to bother its master.
He's gonna ask, "Who is your master?" I don't know if he knows Latin and be able to ask it in that. But yeah, try it in English
Sure.
if not.
George has studied the occult somewhat. I think if you make like an occult roll, that could be fair. Which I believe is your intelligent.
Which one would be intelligent?
Yeah, there is no. It'd be your reason. Sorry. Nice. Yeah. So absolutely, George manages to fiddle his way through some. Yeah, it is reason. Yes. So you do manage to sort of flub your way through some Latin, and it. And sorry, what was the question you were asking it, or the answer you were giving?
He was trying to ask like, "Who is your master?"
Okay. Um. So he says, Howard. He may have said his full name, like Ryan Howard.
That's definitely not the person we were looking for, right?
No. The artist you were looking for was oh shit. Hang on here. For with my notes.
We definitely heard that name though. Who's that?
Well, we know who Ryan Howard is. Ryan Howard's the guy whose house we broke into.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right.
Like the house that we're in now.
Yeah, Starker, I think, was the person we were looking for.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Pull it up in my notes, but I was like, Starker's the name. I just can't remember his first name.
That's okay.
But the artist. So we were looking for Starker, but Ryan Howard was the
Influential fancy man.
right. Yeah, he was the high up guy who had all the paintings, and we went through the art house and we found the sewer path that led up that the creature followed us through.
No, thank you. Sorry, I'm just really bad with names and
Oh
memorizing all
no,
that
that's
stuff.
fine. So Howard commissioned a painting from Starker, and it was this painting that you guys saw, that the massive painting of, and it caused I think only Ray trouble. I don't think
I
anyone.
didn't see anything.
No
I
one-
was just like, cool.
I don't think anyone else saw anything in it, but I remember Ray had a moment.
Red gave 0 fucks,
Mhm.
as he does.
As he does.
Honestly, he's just gonna say that he's looking for Starker. Do I have to roll to say that?
No, you're fine. So you repeat that you're looking for Starker, and the figure like takes the sword that he's holding and sort of points it at you, and repeats back again in this dry Latin that no one is allowed to interrupt his master during the ceremony. If you're looking for Starker, you may come back after. Probably said something like "what's left of him," some such like that.
So would he be able to know anything about what the ceremony's referring to?
None of you have heard anything about a ceremony.
Sorry, I'm just trying to think what to do here.
No, that's fair. It's not a great situation for George. Did you want us to cut back to the rest of the party?
Yeah, you can. Just in case I have any party crashers.
Fair enough. Well, we return to the rest of the party, who are somewhat shook that George disappeared into a fucking wall. And we're all kind of writing things off. And then Fred, right at the end there, made a phone call to the boss. And that didn't go over too great.
And Fred is pissed.
Yeah. The phone call?
It was basically just come back with him. I don't care.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. Come back with them, or I'm not saying, but yeah.
I'm not saying it's your ass, but I am saying your posterior is in danger.
Yeah. And everyone you know and love.
Well, Ray's clearly had quite enough of this bullshit. He's going to get answers. Provided, of course, this doesn't go horribly wrong on the rolls, but we shall see. DM, I'd like to go back downstairs to where we locked up the henchman. I think it was in
Okay.
the bathroom, wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm curious. I'm following.
Okay.
Wait, are we all downstairs?
Now Fred's gone back up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so
you're-
where's the one that we saved from being taken to the sewer?
Oh, we'll just say the one on the right.
Basically
Lieutenant
bang the door
Dan.
in. Stop it. Damn it, Borrowed. All right. Which one of you is in charge here? You or you?
They both probably look at each other and say, like, not me. you know?
Well, one of you is going to be, because I have questions and I'm going to have answers, or one of you is going to go through what we found. So one of you already saw what's waiting in the basement. Do you really want to see what's waiting in the attic?
So the one who had been in the basement starts babbling at this point. He's like, "Listen, man, I'll tell you anything. What do you want to know? Just don't put me back down with that thing."
All right. When you're guarding the place, do you go upstairs in the
Uh-huh.
house?
Howard doesn't let us go upstairs. It's off limits.
Where is Howard?
At last I know, he was upstairs. He had some meeting with some artist.
Ah, checked upstairs. He's not there. Try again.
I don't know. He took the guy upstairs. We carried him in.
guy?
He was that artist guy who's bound and gagged. We took him out of the
Artist guy.
car.
Oh,
Starker.
so it was you who broke the lock on my trunk. Answer me.
Uh,
Grab his leg and twist.
Oh shit! Oh, I like this. Okay, give me an intimidate roll. Now I'm gonna give you like +1 to this because he's already quite shooken.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and Ray is very good at intimidating.
It's a violence roll, right?
I believe there is one for intimidating, but if
If he
there
grabs
isn't,
his
let's see,
broke ass leg, is it a
reflexes,
+2?
willpower, fortitude, reason, coolness,
yeah.
perception, charisma, soul.
so there is influence other, but that's not exactly what we're looking for. I think Ray has an intimidate ability. No, he doesn't. Never mind. I thought he had a specific one for that. So yeah, I guess probably the closest thing would be influence other, right? If you're twisting though, I could see violence working. So
Yeah.
that's fair. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, Ray's basically a muscle man. He knows how to work it so it's not like I'm going to break something. It's the pain is slowly escalating until you answer me, and when you do, the pain stops.
Okay, yeah, I like that. Yeah, give me a violence roll with
All
a
right,
+1.
modifier.
Which actually makes it +4 because Ray is wow. You rolled really bad, but that's still pretty good. So
You tried to grab the leg, you only managed to grab a whole lot of pants.
So no. So we can take complications in a few different ways,
Broke his
and
leg.
I think the way we're gonna do it is you can get 2 questions out of him, and after
Before
that
the pain makes him pass
and
out.
that's right. Yeah, I think that's a fair way of putting it because he's already like halfway gone just from that creature. Oh. So what 2 questions would Ray ask? Would the lock for the car?
That's the first one.
Okay. So he says,
And
yeah,
I know everyone at home is going, "Why would you waste one of your questions
Ray
on this?"
needs
And
to
the
know.
thing is,
Yeah.
because it's in character for
Yeah.
Ray.
Yeah, totally.
Even though I'm like, I have so many other questions, Ray as a character would first want to know who fucked up his car.
He's like, yeah. Howard asked us to watch the place and tell anybody that came by, and we saw you take the guy out of the studio, so we were like, we'll bust him out when you go to the park. I swear to God, we don't know what's going on here. We thought this he was just settling some old debts.
Who else did Howard bring in here?
Well, he's been trying to get he never. I mean, okay, I'm just saying the only guy he brought in here was that Starker, but he's been trying to get this Karita chick for ages. He's always saying that behind Starker, he thinks that she's really the backbone of his art. I don't know what he's really referring to, mine, but
For those playing the home game, Karita is Mrs. Schiller, the one that Starker was sharing the apartment with.
yeah, it's current fling
Hmm.
or something more.
All right, so if he's passing out from that, I guess we'll have to turn to the only other occupant of the room.
Who is now shitting their pants but has not seen the creature in the basement. So
Normal intimidate roll for that one, I imagine.
yeah, no +1.
All right, so your friend's going to be out for a while until he comes around. I'm going to be asking you the questions. Where's Karita?
We never found Karina. As far as I know, she's moved town. Skipped out. Starker was asking the same question in the car the whole way over. He kept asking where she was. Wouldn't shut up about her. Always babbling like, "Oh, I don't feel safe while she's gone," and stuff like that.
What else have you all been bringing for him?
So you're gonna have to roll violence for that.
Look, I know you have some lingering, perhaps, loyalty to your boss, but it's really misplaced. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. I like this though. What? And this was like a snap of the finger kind of thing, or
Oh, actually, I was going to go for the wrist, but you're right. We should probably start with something smaller. Let's go with the finger.
yeah, I just love that. Like, I'm going to show you why your loyalties are misplaced. Snap, and you hear him scream, this sickening noise. I would say if Fred was in this room, this might have made him uncomfortable.
How fortuitous that he is not then.
Yeah, fortunately, the person who is with you is dead inside. So Lisbeth just stares, and she doesn't even flinch at the crunch and the snapping. So he's screaming, his eyes are starting to water. He says, "Look, we've just been bringing in art for him. We busted a museum. We stole a bunch of... he's been looking for all this Roman shit. We've...
spare me that. I've already seen it upstairs. All the Roman Greco crap. Yeah.
Well, no, but there's more. He was bringing on all these bodies. We were digging up these weird coffins from some Roman exhibit and like exhuming corpses.
Like, all right. So he's after dead bodies from Rome.
I
What?
couldn't
Did you
tell you.
just
I
take...
don't know what he's up to.
Well, what did you do with them?
We took them
Just
all
throw 'em in the
upstairs.
trunk or what? What room?
Well, we're not really allowed, but he's got that room in the back past his bedroom. It's where all the weird shit goes on. It's like a library or something.
Okay, while I was in there, I didn't see any bodies. Did you see any bodies?
Didn't see any bodies.
That's two of us, two sets of eyes, no bodies.
Listen, I'll tell you, there's some weird shit because
How
we
many?
seen 4 or 5 of them.
Is it 4 or is it 5? Because you're about to find out if you have 4 working fingers tomorrow.
Wait, what did you see?
What are you asking the guy?
Yeah, I'm asking the guy.
Oh, he's let's say 4 bodies.
No, what weird shit did you see?
Oh man, like we brought these 4 bodies, and like I said, couple days later, I swear to God, 2 of them left the house in trench coats.
That's the stupidest thing
I swear to God. Howard was talking to one of them, and he was...
I sincerely hope for you you're not a lefty.
Oh fuck! And he snapped another finger.
I'm gonna look at Ray and say, Ray, I've seen some shit. I believe him. Seriously.
I'm just holding the finger like, you believe him
Yes.
that a dead body put on a trench coat, loafers,
Let me tell you,
and walked out of
when
here.
George and I went to the hotel, we were attacked by something. Something I have never seen in my entire life. Something so strange, so
And I've
scary
never seen the Alps.
that I'm ready to believe anything.
You really buy into this?
I'm not sure I fully believe it, but I'm just saying it could be possible.
I don't know if this helps. So I'm saying, so this guy, Howard was speaking like Italian or some shit to this one fucking guy, and he sent him over to the park, and he would just send him there every night just to wait on the docks.
Wait a minute. Would my character know, like, be able to just kind of reiterate the appearance of what we fought and attacked at the dockyard and in the sewer pipe after?
Yeah, I mean,
kind of like give a facial descriptor, kind of like say, well, what do he look like, this corpse? And then explain, like, and go, oh, that's them.
Yeah, I think you'd be able to suss that out. Yeah. I mean, at least between like you and Lisbeth, like describing to this guy. Now he never like looked up close at this thing, but certainly from afar, like the build and everything would match, like the sort of shape of the face, what was left of it. Yeah. Matches up.
Okay, I believe you. So we've got Roman grave robbery. We've got corpses that walk around in trench coats and loafers. And weird shit going on in the attic.
Some weird shit going on.
All right. What's in this vial?
I don't know how Howard. It's
Did
he's
he
had a
send
couple.
you to get it? Or did he get it himself?
Honestly, I don't know where he got it from. I know it's a more recent purchase. One of the guys stole one. Thought it was like some hot drug or something, and snorted it, and he was fucked. He was seeing shit and thought the angels were chasing him. He was right fucked up. And then, I haven't seen him since.
What, did he
Howard
die?
took him away somewhere. Guess he found out.
Is there any more of this stuff? I'm gonna ask them. I'm asking the man.
I don't know where Howard hides it, but I know he's got some vials kicking around. It's probably upstairs if you're looking for it. I don't know if it's valuable, but
All right. So you've seen a few things. You ever been in the foyer of this place? I think that's what it's called. One in the back, wall of paintings and shit on the wall.
yeah, sure. I've walked through it.
All right. Just between you and me.
Hmm?
You ever heard anything while you're in there?
Not
Like
me,
weird,
but
weird shit.
one of the other guys saying he was staring at Howard's painting. He got a bad vibe from that.
Thanks for the honesty. Congratulations, you get to keep your ring finger.
Moving on to the middle.
Yeah.
We're playing. He doesn't realize this yet, but we're playing the roulette of fingers. Every time he lies, he breaks the finger I'm holding.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
So we broke the pinky. We've skipped over 2 of the other ones, and we're coming back around. No, sorry, the thumb is broken. We're skipping around back towards the ring. Sorry.
Oh, the thumb's the worst one to break. It's like,
True, which is why I started with it.
oh god, what an awful noise that would have made.
Exactly. But then again, you think about it. This is something, it's controlled violence for a purpose. It's not wanton violence for the enjoyment of it. It's a means to an end.
Oh, that's fun.
Even then, you wouldn't have to break him, just dislocate him. It still is fucked, at least temporarily.
All right. So, last few things. Where did Howard send you looking for Karita?
Well, we've been to her apartment. We've been to the studio. We've been asking around town. A lot of people think Karita's maybe a more recent name she's taken on. Seems like she wasn't always Karita. I've heard Howard refer to her by a couple different names, but I don't know.
Suppose you remember any.
Shit. So I'm gonna say because we did get complications that he doesn't remember, but he's honestly not remembering. You can tell he's like trying to form names. He's like, no, I honestly, I couldn't tell you.
Oh, I wouldn't know if he's lying or not with the
Oh, actually, it wouldn't be observation. It would be read a person, I believe is what it's called.
Read a person.
Something.
Oh,
yeah,
intuition. Shit,
intuition.
I'm sorry.
Yep, that's fine. Which I think Ray's a little better at. So, okay, never mind.
What? Hold on. 13, 13, 8, 8. I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah, God didn't want you to make that roll. That's for sure. Yeah. Maybe it's Stark or Howard's influence in the house.
Maybe or whatever's in the basement.
Hey, we don't talk about that thing.
All right. Last question. Last, final question. Before I'm going to leave you alone with your friend here. That's imperative you don't lie to me. Understand?
Yeah, sure. What do you need?
Who and where is the butler?
The butler.
The butler.
There ain't no butler here, man.
She is dying.
Breaks his hand.
Yeah. When Howard's trying to dodge calls, he'll say he's the butler. I don't know.
Are you shitting me?
Nah, man. Nobody's allowed to answer the phone here.
So
Howard thinks we're too stupid for that.
That son of a bitch. All right. You know what? I'm going to get you an ice pack. You stay right there in that tub.
What?
Okay.
I am Barrow called it. He did.
Barrow did call it, yeah. That was fucking fun.
Well, Ray is now immensely pissed off because the anger is now transferred from this butler to Howard himself.
Yeah.
Like, if he didn't have enough anger already towards Howard, this just cements it in Ray's mind.
That's fair, yeah.
Also, where on this map is the kitchen?
The kitchen is that room right here. It's number 6.
Canted because I'm in the fridge.
Nice, yeah. Getting out the little ice bag for him. 1950s refrigeration at its best.
Yeah. According to modern day producers, they think you can ride out an explosion from a nuclear bomb in one.
That's right, yeah. Indiana.
I'm glad at least one person here got that reference. Thank you.
No, I think sadly a few of us have probably seen Crystal Skull, but yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, none of us want to admit it, but... Okay,
All right.
so...
So
Should
for
we go back
the
to
end of my
Fox?
scene would be basically getting an ice pack and going back to the guy and probably raiding the fridge if there was something to eat in there.
Okay. There's maybe like a couple slices of bologna and like some bread. Maybe, but pretty much...
Hey, cold bread and cold salami sandwiches. Perfect. I'll start munching that on the way back.
5-day-old
Not even
pizza.
gonna give it to the dude.
You know, he hands him the ice pack, he's eating a sandwich. Hey, that's my lunch! Get
That's some
fucked.
Scooby-Doo shit there.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how old or abandoned the house is, you can always make a fucking sandwich.
Yeah, Ray's sitting there. He's like, man, I'd be scared if I wasn't so hungry. Takes a bite. What, no mustard? Oh, fuck. That's my favorite scene.
One scene where there was an honest-to-God, like, supernatural occurrence regarding the sandwich, but it's just never acknowledged.
I know, like, legit the one time, and Shaggy's just like, nah.
Yeah, doesn't matter, I'm hungry.
It
fuck
doesn't matter, yeah. I'm hangry. Alright, so, Fred, did you want to do a scene, or Elizabeth, or do we pop back to George?
No, my scene was
I mean,
with Cam's. With George's.
Ray.
With
It's Ray.
Ray's.
Yeah, that's Ray's scene.
The
You got
tall
there.
Centaurian man.
I mean, Fred was gonna do something stupid, but everybody left their room first, so I don't know. Did Fred do something stupid solo?
You could.
Why not?
They come back and he just
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh my
I kind of
God.
love that. So what's Fred doing?
Well, I mean, Fred is pissed not 6, not 7, but like 12 ways to Sunday. He's gonna go
Love it.
find this Starker son of a bitch, bring him back home, and then shoot his fucking boss.
I love it.
So Fred's gonna act stupid without consulting his ex-wife?
Yes.
That
She's gonna
sounds
be
exactly like
pissed.
a
Yeah.
relationship that's on the rocks would be
So-
like.
I could okay. What I could kind of see is like, so Elizabeth and Ray are going down the stairs. Fred is going up, right? And as like Fred's like passing, and you know, like maybe
he
like
was already
they
upstairs.
exchange glances. No, because Fred was down. He was on the phone. So you guys came down the stairs, and then he went up the stairs after you guys came down.
No, but Fred was upstairs when all this shit happened in the room.
Yeah, I know, but he came back down and he called out.
Oh, okay.
Right, he called Mr. Pickett.
Yeah.
So but I could have seen Fred like maybe placing a hand on Elizabeth's shoulder and just saying something real quick before he went upstairs. Like you know, it's been fun, or I'm about to do something stupid, or
Look after my frickin' daughter.
he looked after our daughter.
Yeah.
Try that maybe. Like, I could see him doing that, but that's up to Borrowed.
That and yeah, grab one of the purple vials off of Ray and just keep walking up the stairs.
Okay, yeah,
You might not put 2 and 2 together as they were walking down the stairs.
grabs a vial off and just puts a hand on, you know, Elizabeth and goes, you know, oh, look after a daughter. Goes
See, I
up.
feel like if that happened, my character would go upstairs. But that's fine.
There's a lot of emotions right now. You're probably just caught up.
Yeah.
You're following Ray. So Fred, what do you do? Bibbidi bobbidi boop, time to cap a spook. Throws the
Bibbidi
vial.
bobbidi, I'm fucking making sure all my shit's reloaded-y. And then
Nice.
yes.
Okay, so remind us of what, you know, for the kids at home, what Fred's packing right now as he goes through this?
He's packing enough to make a police force of the time be like, oh yeah, because I mean, well, you know, it is the 30s or no,
the 50s.
50s. I don't know. Yeah, I guess the 50s cops still probably had automatics.
Yeah, they probably did. Yeah, probably not
But-
quite as scary as the Thompson, but
Yeah,
they wouldn't have had
Tommy
50
gun.
round.
A Tommy gun with 1 or 2 drums for it? Question mark.
Yeah.
And then just because may as well stick with the theme of 45, also in 1911,
Nice.
and a pocket knife, and just goodies.
Fred's ready to roll.
Reloads pocket knife.
So you get up there and you're throwing the vial in the same
It's a
way.
knife gun.
So you're throwing the vial in the same way that George did.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeet vial at the gate that isn't a gate because there's a fucking wall behind it.
Yeah. And as soon as you do, once again, it opens up. And this time you're less surprised because you've seen it once before. And you feel it pulling you in, calling to you, as if like a vacuum was just sucking everything in the room. And you step forward into hell. Well, it might not be hell, but, you know, I'm sure Fred at least assumes it's hell-ish. And we shall drop you over here. So Fred, the same sort of descriptors that you Rax Tommy Gun pulled. That's right. So the same sort of descriptors I used for George. You're coming through this tunnel. It's dark. Unlike George, however, who's sort of the cautious investigator, walking forward, half blind, with only his hands and his heart. You're probably walking, pointing the Tommy gun straight ahead at you, sort of like death marching your way through this place, right? Like
Exactly.
checking all the
World War
holes.
I going across no man's land, just fucking. I gotta go.
Yeah. So like, whereas George would have been like walking and like just observing everything around him, Fred is just like pointing the gun at each hole that he passes and like nut, and just going forward. And you come up upon a man, George. You recognize him standing halfway. We'll put him here, halfway down a staircase. And at the other end of the staircase is a bright beacon of light pouring through a doorway, and a figure standing at the bottom. A little more room with her.
Fred's gonna yell down at George, "Hey, George, dipshit, what's going on?" Start fucking marching down the stairs.
George will kind of put your hand out to kind of tell you to stop.
Okay, yeah.
And take a couple steps closer to you so he could talk to you. And hopefully be out of earshot of the other thing.
Oh yeah, you do like the soldiers like sort of hold up kind of hand sign.
Yeah.
Back to him.
Stop for like a half second. Alright, you got about 5 fucking seconds. Where am I going? Where's the painter, bitch? Where's Howard? And who the fuck's that?
Oh god, what did they call him? Master? Lord? What did they call him? I can't remember.
Yeah, master. Yeah, Howard was the guy's master.
All I could gather so far is that Howard's their master, and I think our man's about to get dissected or something. Sacrificed.
Okay, and who the fuck's at the bottom of the stairs?
I don't know. He's some sort of undead looking creature. Was once a man, I have to assume.
Huh.
Fred, there's stuff going on that I don't know if any of us can really understand.
Gotta put my hand on George's shoulder. Hey, George? I want you to do something. I hand him a 1911. I want you to hold this. I want you to follow me. I'm gonna start walking down the stairs towards the thing. I'm not pointing my gun at it, mind you. I want to get a little bit closer to it.
Okay.
Wait, so what did you give him? I'm sorry.
It's
Hands
an
you my
M1911. It's a handgun at the time, Fox.
Oh, okay.
With
I heard a
with
knife at first. I'm like, you just give him a knife? What?
Yeah, that too.
No. So George would have used these in the war. They were pretty standard issue.
They were
And,
pretty new at the time in World War One.
It's true, but World War II.
Well, he was in both.
He was in both wars, yeah. So he would have.
I've covered wars, you know.
Damn it.
That's right.
Beat
Yeah.
me to it.
No, that. Oh my God! Do you remember? That was the funniest fucking thing. Was that with Elizabeth and George?
Yeah.
And then George is like, she's like,
Yeah, I've been
there's
through
some.
two
He's like,
wars.
yeah, I went through 2 wars. Like, thanks a lot, bitch. That was so good. Okay, so what? Talk me through Fred's plan here, just so I know. As he's walking down the stairs, if this thing moves, is he shooting, or is he just sort of watching it to see what move it makes first?
Walk up to it in a way over the top, fucking, hey, buddy, friend, pal, amigo, compadre. And when it gets close, just fucking, like, press the barrel against its head and remove skull.
Oh, okay. So as you start getting close, it starts screaming at you in some fucking language, and it points its sword in your direction.
Don't speak French. Keep walking.
Okay, so it's going to start charging at you as you sort of reach the landing of the stairs. Do you want to go ahead and give me I assume you're shooting first and asking questions later?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and give me a violence roll, and then tell me, if you look at your stat sheet for the Tommy gun, which attack are you making?
Right, I'll need to find that bloody stat sheet for the Tommy gun again.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I can resend it if you need.
Let's see,
Okay.
which one did that go into? Did that go into...
Yeah, I'll just I'll repost it for everyone. It'll take me 2 seconds.
Down here.
Guns 2, I think, was my Tommy gun. There you go.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it would be the second one. Focus full auto and just fucking...
Just fucking hammer a bitch.
Yeah, just... Like, as it starts charging at me, yeah, your dumbass friend of the doc tried the same thing.
Nice. I like it. Okay, so go ahead and make an engage, or sorry, a violence roll for me. Yeah, engage in combat, whatever it's called.
Honestly, though, it's par for the
hurts.
course because it's me.
That's fair. That fucking hurts, though. That is very sad. And
It
just
hurts you. I'm not surprised.
maybe as you're firing, you slip a little bit on that last step, so your shots sort of like kick up with the recoil, and this thing just fucking like runs in and make a reflex or avoid harm roll as the sword skewers towards your gut.
Everybody else ready for this less than 10 roll?
What a fucking roll! So
I mean, to be
describe
fair,
to me
again,
how
I dodged his friend doing the same shit on the dock. He only got my jacket.
yeah. So tell me how Fred's dodging this, because that's it. Like with a 20, like
It's like a reflex shot one almost.
he's doing something fucking cool, right? You just like spinning around him or something, or
I mean, can I add something in regards to the pocket knife with this?
oh, I love it. Yeah, go ahead. That's a very Fred move. So you're just stabbing as he goes by, like you're grabbing your pocket knife out, flipping it around, and like doing a stab in the side or the neck.
Yeah,
or
just
something.
like as he goes past me, because I assume he's right-handed. So like step up would be to my left, so his right, like past his sword, and as he comes past, just like ram the fucking knife like pretty much into his Adam's apple jugular or whatever, just like whatever the throat, because you know you got the helmet and you got the cure off, sure, but you got that whole big throat sitting there. Just
I love it. Okay, so
would
just
that
because
necessarily
you're
affect a corpse? No, but
oh, maybe just because you're aiming for the throat to sort of dodge the armor aspect, I'll give you like a -1 to this. But yeah, give me a gauge in combat roll. See how violent Fred's feeling to.
does he throw the knife too?
Okay, still pretty good. So yeah, I'll go ahead and say you you shank it, and your knife does how much damage? Be like a stiletto, so 2. Okay. Deal 2 damage. I'll say you ignore its armor for the purposes of that. Just gonna write. And yeah, you stab in, and the complication, I'll just say like the knife gets caught in its throat and in the bones, and you sort of lose the grasp of it, but it goes blah, 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 and it's like spluttering, and it attempts to speak in whatever language that Fred's unaware, and it's just gross, it's chalky, and it's sputtery, and it's just a mumble of horrible shrieks at this point. George,
Question: did I hit anybody inside the cathedral whatever, since I sprayed apparently all the way past this fucker? Did I hit the door and hit anyone?
Oh, that's fun. No,
Or
but
will we
let's.
find out later, TM?
Yeah, we'll find out later. TM, find out later. And George, it's your turn. Should you want to take an action? Go ahead.
I mean, is that thing still alive or is it dead?
Oh, it's still alive.
Well, guess I'll be shooting at it too, because
Fair enough.
that would be what, violence?
Yep. And then, so how weapons work in this is they have different attacks. And hang on here, I'll just relink it for you because I still have it open.
Well, I have whatever he gave me.
So you have the M1911, which is the top left one on that. So you can see there. So you can do you have 4 ammo essentially. So you can either do combat shooting, which deals 2 damage at -1 ammo. You do overkill, which is 3 damage, but you use 2 ammo, or you can do the multiple targets one.
So I have to decide that before I roll.
Yeah, you're basically just abstracting, ammo, so it's a lot easier to manage. And you're just like, am I shooting at him like once, or like a couple times, or am I like dumping half the magazine, like just going blam 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 blam?
Mm,
So how conservative do you feel?
considering I know it takes a lot of shit to kill these, I guess maybe he's gonna go for the better hit
Yeah, the overkill, yeah.
a little bit.
Used,
Yeah.
used half your ammo there, yeah. Go ahead and give me a violence roll, Fox. Nice. So George, I mean, he was in the war, 2 of them. He's fired a gun or 2 before, just sort of crack, 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 and a few of the shots sort of glance off and ping into its Legionnaire's armor. Maybe one of them like splits a hole into its helmet, but one of them like lodges with a horrible thud into the creature, and it screams out more. Fred, it would be your turn again.
Well, since apparently the Tommy guns in this universe don't make a fucking lick of sense, I'm just gonna use whatever's left in it.
Okay, yeah, do the short burst, yeah.
3 ammo in the Tommy gun, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, sure, whatever. So, be again, violence. Oh,
Nice. Yeah, that's
2
a hit.
digits this time.
Yep. Um So I'm gonna say the complication here is as Fred's firing into this thing with the last, like he's just emptying the drum of the Tommy gun. This thing is running at him. He's like, and it's like running for like one final swing, just to try and use the last weight of its body before it expires to just inflict some damage on you. So go ahead and avoid harm for me.
I did it once. I ain't doing it twice.
You never know. Fred's feeling pretty sass. Fucking
Oh
A.
yeah.
And so it's like you just keep shooting, and it's like right as it starts going click 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 click, like it just sort of starts slumping over and falling, and it just collapses like inches from you, the sword clattering on the ground, and it starts to slowly disintegrate to a cloud, powder, black sand. Yeah.
Okay, so it's disintegrating. Is the armor still there?
The armor is still there.
Would it fit me?
And yes, I think, yeah, because I said it was about 5'8", so I reckon Fred's probably not too far off. Now, you're not used to wearing a full set of Legionnaire's armor, but I will say 100%
Well, I ain't gonna
put
put
it
on that
on.
frou-frou skirt, but I'll put on like the chest and the helmet.
Okay, so I'll say, yeah, that gives you a point of armor. Take 1 less damage from all attacks.
That, and also it'll be, it'll take him a quarter second longer to figure out who's the bad guy when I walk in the room.
That's true, yeah.
If Fred didn't pick up the sword, can George pick it up?
Yeah, absolutely. George, I don't know if it was on those sheets I just sent. Oh, hang on, I'll send you that because you'll have to use that, no doubt. But
I guess I need to fish my knife back out of the sand.
yeah, that's fair. So you grab your knife there.
Is Fred running away right away, or can I like observe the sword?
Oh yeah, no, you could observe the sword. What are you looking for?
Just to see if there's anything of note on it, like if it feels authentic, or
So
if you know anything about it.
I mean, you could tell it's very authentic looking. And having seen Howard's collection, I think George would make the assumption that this is an actual gladius from like Roman times.
But would he know anything else about it? If I do an observe roll, right?
You would be investigate.
What do you insert?
And what are you looking for exactly? You could also make your occult roll.
Well, I failed anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh. So no, you don't know what, like there's nothing else that stands out to you about it.
Okay.
And I think what we'll do.
Wow, that roll for George there. That's
I know.
fucking snake eyes.
Snake eyes. Oh. So what we'll do is we're gonna quickly pop back. Now, Ray and Lisbeth, you don't have to do anything more. If you feel like your characters would potentially go upstairs and attempt to head into this other realm, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool too. Like, this is entirely up to your character thing. The scenario could have ended with you all just leaving the house, right?
Not in any way does my character want to go into the 4th dimension.
Okay, so Lisbeth is heading back to the hotel or something.
Well, my
She
character's more
just-
concerned because
Just stay
walking
for a
up-
bit, thinking they might come back.
Okay, so you're just gonna hang out here
Yeah, I'm
and
just
wait?
gonna hang out.
Okay, so
I don't know what to do. I need a moment.
that's fair. So I'm just gonna go. I'll be right back. Just gonna get some water, and then we'll continue with Ray and see what he gets up to, and head back into our other dimension.
Zelphus.
Yo.
Ray should, obviously, can't make it, not my character, but Ray should probably consider going outside and grabbing the unconscious people before they wake up. Bring them inside.
No, we
stick
beat the
all in
hell out of
bathroom.
them pretty hard. I don't think they're going to be getting up.
Aren't the unconscious people? Are you talking about the one that George
Outside.
and the one by the
Yeah.
car? I thought they were tied up.
Yeah.
Well, there was two of them, and then there was the other one that ran away, or didn't ran away, but like ran to go check on their friends that you knocked out. And he was, as far as I know, like you just dragged him in the bushes, so nobody'd see him.
Wait, what? There was
The
two
third
of them
one.
that we knocked out, and we dragged them into the bushes and tied them up. And
And
then,
then there was the third one, the one that was at the gate.
the third one was the one you Ray just broke the finger of. Didn't he take us inside so we can do a phone call and then take I'm bad with names. I forgot her name right now.
Was it? I could have swore there was a third one that you knocked out, and then there was the one.
No,
Maybe
there
I'm
wasn't a third one.
getting it wrong.
I don't think.
So
Double check with Raffle maybe when he comes back.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure it was just the two. We knocked them out, and then the third one, we went to the house with him, and then she pretended to need to use the restroom, and then you guys came downstairs and dealt with him.
Okay. Well, even then, though, those two outside, like, they might be tied up, but that doesn't stop them from, like, running down the hill. Or unless you, like, completely tied them up, in which case, I guess that's okay. Tie them up and gag them. They're just kind of doing their impression of a worm behind the bush.
I mean, depends on how long they're passed out, too. They could be passed out for a while.
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly Hollywood, though. Like, most people actually aren't completely unconscious for all that long. Now, obviously, like, if you're in a coma or something, that's different, but actually, being unconscious doesn't typically last that long. That's mostly Hollywood. Just lightly pop them on the head and they're out for an hour. Nah. But that's also up to DM discretion, so.
You're just gonna give him ideas.
That's hard to give ideas to somebody that ain't feckin' here.
I know, but if you bring it up to him, maybe give him ideas.
Yeah, maybe.
But while he's away, I'm gonna be right back as well.
So, Zelphus, any thoughts on the next campaign yet?
No idea.
No idea what you want to do for a character, nothing?
Nope.
Brad, I figured you would have been thinking about that by now.
It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah. Well, while we're sitting here, do you got any ideas? If you were to make a new character.
Considering it'll be in the modern day, we'd have to change up how the characters work.
Yeah, because I've already got the idea for my character pretty much finalized. I don't have them on paper yet because I don't have the rule book from Raffle, but
Alright. And back, sorry.
wait,
Where?
your back
So,
box is gone.
okay, that's fair enough.
No, I'm here.
Oh no,
Fox
Fox.
is.
Yeah. We're pretty close to the end, as I'm sure you guys get a feel for. So.
Hey, yep. Hey, Rob, we're gonna need the rules PDF from you put in chat for
Character
next
creation and stuff.
game.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send that.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
So speaking of stuff holding up the stream, I haven't heard the lizards making shitloads of noise recently. What's going on with Dante and all them?
I mean, Dante's doing pretty good.
He doesn't really make a lot of noise.
No, he doesn't.
And when he does, he's being a little asshole.
That's true.
You have to
Yeah.
go tell him to shut up and deal with the cricket and other whatnot.
Yeah, it's just usually he doesn't
Yeah.
eat the crickets, yeah, and then the crickets are noisy as fuck. I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck? You love crickets? Why don't you just like go over and get them? And he's like, meh,
He's just really lazy.
lazy bum. Okay,
He's an
so
old man.
we all back?
Think so?
I'm here.
Okay, then let us continue. So Ray, you wanted to have a little scene. Elizabeth said she was gonna, you're just gonna like sit on one of the couches and sort
Yeah,
of
but
watch.
upstairs.
Oh, okay. Like in maybe in the master
Yeah.
bedroom or something, just chilling on the bed.
Just have a moment. Yeah.
Okay, so you're just sitting on the bed. Ray, you've gone up to the door. What are you doing here?
Well, I'm kind of wondering where Fred went.
Yeah.
Well, he went in. He took a vial from you.
But Ray might not have.
Took it
Notice?
from me or took it from you? I thought he took it from you when we were passing each other on the stairwell.
Well, I don't know who had the vials. I don't think I had them.
So either
It's
way,
not the
though.
modern age,
Yeah.
so I couldn't just leave a sticky note on the outside of the door.
I owe you, yeah.
It's funny you should mention that.
Well,
You'll
you could
find
probably
out why in a
see
minute.
that out front the door there's more shattered glass.
You probably smell it, yeah. Maybe a bit of like a sulfurous odor or some such like that.
A fresh smell of ass in the room.
Mmm.
Hey, Fred. Oh, that's that smell again. And the gate's ajar. Great.
I thought it was a gate.
Sardonic laughter from somewhere else in another realm.
Yeah.
The clouds above you laugh.
We're indoors. What the hell? Don't try and mix the meta. That'll ruin things. Elizabeth, you don't think he went in there, do you?
Yeah, he did.
Why didn't you stop him?
I'm gonna leave the room.
Elizabeth's just done with this shit.
Why? Where the fuck are you going?
Shuts door.
Elizabeth's
Wow.
just like, that's why I divorced him. Leave.
Yeah.
Great. My boss gonna kill me and my mom. Everyone's ever known. Spooky things in the sewer. Something about a car wraith going after my car. And now that bastard Fred owes me money and he's in the gate. And where's that fucking butler? Okay. Okay. It's just a door. Doors lead places. That's fine. Okay, let's go. Let's go. I have a Tommy gun. Let's go. Throw a vial. Walk through the gate. Teeth clenched,
Nice.
gun up.
Love it. So as Ray's coming through, he joins everyone else here. You probably like Ray would be walking into the end of the fight where George is picking up the sword and Fred is probably reloading his gun, I would assume,
And donning the armor.
and donning the armor. And so you basically you're walking up to see Fred putting on this Roman armor. Love it.
You look like an idiot.
I'm
What,
an
you
idiot with
playing
armor and
dresser
you're
for
not.
Halloween? You gonna scare the kids?
Oh yeah, let's see you try and stab me, you fucking smarmy bitch.
I don't need to stab you. I came with a gun. Speaking of which, where's yours?
You came with a gun. Well, apparently his armor stopped a couple of his fucking bullets. Points at George.
What was he using?
Fucking my gun.
Bullshit. That flimsy little thing stopped at 45.
Tell that to this dent.
That's bullshit. Also, why are you holding a sword?
He had it.
Talking about the sand monster.
The
Yeah, he
sand
was pointing at
monster?
the nothingness.
That's right. Yeah, it's gone.
Like that prick in the sewer.
Ah. Also, just kind of turned to George. Hey, glad to see you're not dead.
As am I. But
You don't sound too thrilled.
I'm just not thrilled about what we're gonna be facing. You know Howard?
Yeah, speaking of that piece of shit, I need to have some words with him.
Well, he's the master down here apparently.
Ooh, the master.
And I think he has our guy too.
Well, I was gonna beat him up anyway. Might as well do it with a bullet now instead of my fist. All right. Let's go see what the Master Butler has to say for himself.
So as you walk through the walkway, like just this is a massive room, like skyscraper tall ceiling. But you can't see past a certain point. There's all these giant obsidian pillars that have been sort of carved from the rock, and all along them are thousands and thousands of candles lit with a black flame. And that's what this bright light coming is. But all the smoke from these candles is basically just the entire ceiling is just like a cloud of smoke. It's all being sort of, you can't even see through it. It's black, it's heavy, it's thick. The air in here is a bit oppressive. And as you walk through, like the air feels heavy. It's almost as if you have to push your way through everything. And from high above, over the clouds, past the candles, you hear the moans of suffering from 1,000 voices wailing above.
Nice speakers.
Yeah. So everyone walking through this room, you're gripped with immediate dread. It feels as if though you're walking through this room as if you leave a part of yourself behind. You feel cold, you feel hollow, and the moaning and the wailing of all these screaming souls or people, it's just drawing and scratching into your mind, and you all lose 1 stability. I think you're all still good for stability.
Yeet.
Maybe not, George.
Yeah, George is getting a little stressed. Yeah. Fred's fine though. Ray's okay, but yeah, George is getting a little on.
First, had a couple of cups of distresso. Did I just get a snort out of Zelphus?
I think you may have.
I was gonna say something, and it's just a nice cup of distress. Sorry.
Despacito, what? Fox, did
Distresso.
you? No, I I know. Yeah.
All right, just wanted to clarify before you're like, that's a shitty joke there, Zelphus. Yeah.
George, did you lower your stress, your stability?
I no.
Oh,
Where do I
okay.
do that?
So it's page 2 of your character sheet, and you just pop it down one.
So, neurotic?
Yeah, neurotic. And George is over halfway down his tracker. So getting... Now again, in this game, unlike Call of Cthulhu, when you run out of sanity, you do not die. Call of Cthulhu, it's an immediate game over. Your character kills himself or becomes irreparably insane. In this game, your character is completely foobar for a scene, and then after you change in some way which gets you a little stability back, but you're still unhinged, and you still have to work to recover. That's kind of interesting. It's nice that there's only 1 health bar instead of 2. That was a bit shitty. So as you're walking through along all these walls, which it would take you ages to examine all of them, but you can sort of make out in the distance. It looks like a barracks of sorts. All these carved out areas are all sort of like beds, and it looks like each one has a coffin embedded in the wall.
So
And
more like a mausoleum.
yeah, okay, yeah, kind of like a mausoleum, but there are beds as well, and like an armor stand and such like that.
Yeah.
And there's paintings, sort of really old paintings along the back of each of these sort of cutout rooms depicting ancient Rome. The one room up here, you do notice, is different than the others, and there's a slight hallway leading into a larger room. Aside from that, if there's anything you're looking for, or if you're observing around, let me know.
Are the barracks occupied?
No, you don't see any that are occupied right now.
How many bunks?
So each one is a single room, like a single bunk.
Do I see any personal effects like, I don't know, an armor stand,
Yeah.
bullet
So
casings,
so
day
if you give
ration,
me like a observe room, kind of, I forget what it's called. The
perception?
perception one, yeah. Observe a situation, yeah. That's the one. Nice. So you do manage to find one of them. There was still a suit of armor set up. Not sure whether they just didn't leave with the armor, or whether it was sort of a one that was not fully prepared. But
No, Dre. Hey, we could be twins.
I don't know. I don't think I look good in a metal dress.
Do you see me wearing the dress?
It's very slimming on you.
The answer was no.
I thought you were wearing the full kilt kind of thing.
Nope. He's wearing the cuirass and the helm.
Oh. My character wouldn't make that sassy remark then.
Yeah, no, I made the comment about I ain't wearing no frou-frou dress.
You said it stopped at 45 cold.
For some fucking reason, yes. I don't quite know how aluminum does that. Actually, was aluminum a popular thing in the 50s yet?
I don't know when
could
they
say
started
tin.
using. Yeah, tin for sure.
No, I'm not seeing much. Yeah, it was around in 1950, so it would be viable to say that it was that.
Yeah. Or I could just call it like pot metal. Any case.
Yeah, regardless. Hey, Fred.
Ye-
Do you think it would fit George? He's
Mm,
it's not looking too good.
Hey, George, you think you can suck in your gut?
Yeah, you get a little bit of a glower from him for saying that.
Is that a no?
Come on, you wore a helmet before. Put on another one. What's the matter? Just toss him the helmet.
I need to roll my reflexes to see if I catch it.
Why would you say something
No.
like that?
No,
You're
no, you
inviting
don't.
pain.
No, you don't.
I'm
You're good.
sorry.
You're
That's
good.
like when he
catching
says.
it,
That's
you have
that's like when
alerted the
Raffle
horde.
turns to me and says, "Hey, Zelphus, roll violence."
Yeah. Just whip it at her.
Crap.
No. Fine. So George is suited up.
Yeah, he'll try it on for size.
Okay, so it
Well,
does
can I-
manage. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. Can I
What is it?
observe it, like, see if I know anything about it?
Yeah. You can do a
Investigate, right?
investigate. Yes. Yeah. So it, as far as you can tell, it's like authentic Roman armor from the time. Yeah. There's like some old battle scars on it, but it does manage to fit you. So you also have a point of armor forward. We've got our little offshoot room. We've got this sort of loop around part. Where are you headed?
Well, what's up on the supposed altar up here?
Okay. So as you head up to this, there's a massive black stone that acts to sort of separate two halves of the temple. And there is a huge mural that's painted across the length of the wall. It floats and twists and it moves like a nightmare in slow motion. There are shapes of bodies, dark torrents, streams of blood, ruins, strange temples, and more. It's hypnotic and dreamlike.
Do I get to snap out of this or no?
Well, you're just sort of looking at it from afar, and it just sort of looks like it's like shifting and moving. And
How big does it look?
hmm.
I'm looking at the frame.
So if you,
Specifically.
yeah, so this room's quite large. I'd say maybe this whole like hallway is probably about 500 feet up across.
From the grids of above 5 and all the way to the bottom?
Yeah.
So wait, do you mean across?
Yeah.
Or do you mean across?
Oh no, I mean like
Well, we would have been hit with the painting the moment we walked in the door. If that had been
this.
the case there.
No,
Yeah, so define across. Top, bottom,
yeah,
side,
top,
side.
top, bottom. It's about 500 feet. Like this is a massive structure. And
This
so
ain't just a goddamn mausoleum, then. This is like a fucking... I don't even know. Like a football stadium.
yeah. So this painting is almost the length of this black barrier here. So let's say it's probably about like 350, 400 feet across. And it goes up almost infinitely. You can't even see the top of this painting. And if you
Was there another Gladius with the second suit of armor?
yeah, that's fair to say. Yeah, we'll say there was.
Go over and hand it to Ray. Hey, bet you can't hit that fucking thing.
Just throw it at it.
$5 as I can.
We were on what, 8? Let's make it
Yeah,
7,
you-
so it's 15.
All right, you're on.
So, how close do you approach it, the throw? Oh, nice.
Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. Should I have taken that into account before I rolled?
Well, no, I was just curious.
But I was thinking Ray's a pretty strong guy. He's familiar with throwing blades, axes, that kind of thing. Like, objects. He's kind of a brute, but when it comes to violence, he's pretty good at it.
Objects
I was
and
gonna say from like the first nave where he was, not like,
Oh,
hey, I'm gonna get like right up next to it, just
No,
stand
no,
next
okay,
to this
that-
weird floaty thing, and
That's fair. Yeah, I was just curious.
I mean, you cheated the first time.
oh, Mister, I don't go up there and ask him. Well, I did.
So
yeah,
as
no,
you,
but I mean, he didn't physically hear you cheat. I'm just saying, out of character, you cheated the first time.
So as sort of as Ray approaches the mural to begin throwing it, you hear sounds coming from it. It's like
Disregard. I'm too focused on the throw.
and that's fair. There's almost like tormented moaning starts coming out of it. It becomes like louder and louder, and the pacing of it gets stronger the closer you get to this picture.
Oh, shut up.
And so you throw the gladius and you're following it with your eye, and it manages to hit the mural and does nothing and falls to the ground. As you look at the part where you threw it, roll soul for me.
Is that an all of us or just to him?
Okay. You see strange hypnotic patterns. You feel an urge to let blood from your body. You look at your wrist, but for a moment, you catch yourself. These are not your
Well, he-
thoughts. These
He
thoughts
just
have been
threw away
put
the sword. He
there.
doesn't have a blade. He can't cut
that-
himself.
So you felt this overwhelming urge for about a moment, as if someone else was speaking in your mind. But you catch yourself and you lose a point of stability.
Okay, that moves me into the realm of slightly neurotic.
Oh, you're fine.
Well, looks like you owe me money again.
I gave you a half point. You didn't put that big of a hole in it.
You said to hit. A hit is a hit, whether or not it goes through it or hits the floor.
You threw a big ass fucking sword at it and you made a little fucking dink.
Hey, I don't. Maybe there's a concrete wall behind it.
It's fluttering in the breeze. You see a wall back there?
No, do you see a ceiling in here?
There's a lot
No.
of candle smoke. Shut up.
Yeah. Oh, bullshit. Anyway, come on, get your cheap ass over here.
Hey, my cheap ass is worth more than your life savings.
Yeah. Well, my life savings has got a little bit better, didn't it?
I guess
You're
that's
right,
true.
50% more expensive.
What about you, George? I feel like you're a little quiet. What are you up to?
George is just sort of like, I'm in this place and I'm with two children. God damn it.
Exactly. Losing my mind, and they're throwing swords at things we don't even understand. It didn't even make a dent in it.
How human is that, though? It's like, I don't trust it. I don't want to get too close to it. Throw something at it. Okay.
As you eventually make your way down the corridor, though, George hears this ringing in his ears, this calling towards the painting. It promises things to him, says that they will explain his dreams, that they will tell him of his future. Where are you headed there, Ray?
Well, since 5 is blocked by a massive floating mural that's trying to make me slip my own wrists, I've taken the liberty of checking out aisle 4 on this supermarket of horrors.
Sure. Yeah. So as you enter the room, it's cold. The walls are slick with water and the sand is wet. On a pedestal stands an iron box. It's wrought with odd iconography and design that you don't recognize.
Hmm. Is the sand, is it black?
Yep, still black sand,
Hmm.
yeah.
Is there anything in the sand? Like, signs of a body being moved, footprints,
Okay, it does
blood,
look
that
like
kind of thing.
something large dragged through this room.
From where to where?
From this room and out.
Leading to where if I follow the tracks?
No, like from this small room, specifically from the pedestal where the iron box sits, outwards,
To
towards
where
like
do the tracks go to if it's going through this whole area is covered in black sand?
no, it's from where you came in. It's all the way out of the temple.
Ah. Well, let's see what the box has to say for itself.
I was about to say that. I was about to walk up behind him and just. So what do you think's in the box?
So Ray goes over and he
don't
lifts the
know.
lid of the box, and you
I don't
find
like
it's
it, though.
unlocked. It opens easily, and inside appears to be mostly filled with rock salt. And there's a chunk of flesh, blackened and dried.
Oh, that's disgusting.
So George, what are you up to? You following everyone around still, or making your way
Oh.
maybe around?
How heavy is the box, out of curiosity?
With all the salt and everything in it, I'd say maybe 15 pounds, maybe 20. Certainly something you could carry with you if you like.
My character wouldn't know about that. Mm. Is there anything else aside from the charred flesh? Does it look like it was once human flesh, or...
It does, yeah.
We'll close the lid and take it with us for now. It seems like it's important to this place.
Okay.
So is Frey and Fred like nearby each other? Or did they go to like completely opposite parts of the room?
I assume they were kind of hanging out together. You guys are all sort of walking around, shopping.
'Cause I feel like it would kind of make sense to stay somewhat close to each other.
Ray goes in to grab the box. Fred is sitting in the doorway still because he asked Ray what was in it. So I had to have at least seen said
Yeah.
box.
And George, the closer and closer you get to this mural, the more it calls out to you, the more you hear the wailing and the moaning. The
Can I
screams of
warn him
anguish.
to ignore it?
You like?
Hey, listen, that thing makes you want to kill yourself. Don't listen to it.
My ex-wife makes me want to kill myself. I don't listen to her.
Oh, man.
Expecting anything less than sass out of Fred.
Well, no, it gets better too because it's like after a bombshell like that, just a comment like that, and you just kind of like it breaks the tension. You just kind of chuckle, you know.
All right.
I guess I could turn to Ray real fast. Speaking of, where is the bitch?
She wouldn't go through the door in the wall.
Ah. Spooky door. Too much. I see.
Come on, out of everything we've seen today,
Question. Did you leave her with a vial so she could open it and we could leave?
no, I brought him with me. Well, door opens one way, it opens another, right? Just throw it at the front and walk through.
Did you see the door when you came in? I didn't.
I was too busy trying to get to you guys. Oh, shit.
You guys should see Kaylin's face right now. She's like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!" All right.
Look, you're expecting the two stooges to do something smart, all right?
So do we head
Also, we
our
don't know
way?
how. We do not know how many vials have been used so far. We know we used one to test it when George walked through.
Right. One for Fred,
We
one
used
for Ray.
yeah. So we're
That's right.
down 3 out of 5, right?
Yep.
So, George is kind of like shaking his head, trying to dodge some of those thoughts there, and I'm gonna bring up to you guys that do we see anything where they might perform some kind of ritual? Is that thing was talking about sacrificing? Oh, is it? Oh, it's there. I see an arrow just appear on the screen. Thanks. To be fair, his mind is fucked right now. So thank you.
That's fair. That's fair. So do you?
Well, I was under the impression the way that creature was talking that like this ritual was going down like right now.
Yeah. No, I would
Yeah.
say there was definitely a sense of urgency.
Like, oh, he's being dissected right this moment, so we kind of need to get to him. You know, he might be dead right now, and
Thank God George is there.
Thank God for women that keep us on track.
Well, I guess we better try and skirt around the corner of this and see where it leads. Because remember, Borrowed and Fox, he did say that it was obstructing what could have been beyond it. So we're going around. Let's see what's mirrored on the other side.
Yeah, can we see under it, or is it literally floor to
Floor to wall,
Infinite.
like infinite, yeah.
Okay.
Is- So as you get around it, though, boy oh boy, you see some shit. So this is a massive chamber. Like I said, we're probably talking about like,
We just came out of a skyscraper-sized one.
yeah, it's, you still can't see the ceiling. It's still coated in smoke from these black candles everywhere. And but it's, let's say it's probably like 350, 400 feet, like square. You had squared it off. It looked like massive, and the whole ground, you can see this huge glyph sort of chalked into the ground, and with indents, and it's filled with a liquid of some sort, and it's cold. You all feel so cold in this room. And at the center is a massive stone altar, and a figure stands with sort of the altar in between you and them, and they see you approach, and they're chanting, their voice carrying across the chamber. You can't understand it. It's in some sort of alien language, and it beats, and as you feel each syllable pound in your heart. And he holds a blade, and he's wearing all black, and he's standing over this figure laid out. He is an ancient laurel wreath in gold. He cackles for a moment. On the table, the altar, lies a man. A man that at this range, none of you could quite make out, but you all assume to be Christian Starker. He's naked, bound, pale. He has several slits cut into his body, and all the blood is pouring up in beads like strands into the ceiling.
That ain't right.
That's not good. What do?
Oh shit, that's Starker.
I bet you the other one's your butler.
Oh, don't worry, we're about to settle that with him. You don't see those knights running around, do you?
No, you don't see anything.
I just see a nutcase in a bathrobe.
How many rounds you got left in that thing?
Well, I had to reload after I definitely shot the guy outside.
Let's see if it works on this guy better than it does on Spooky Night Guy.
He has a bulletproof bathrobe. I want it.
not going to look too good when it's all full of holes. On
If
3,
it's bulletproof, I won't have him.
we're going to find out. Besides, he's going to kill Starker.
I'm a fucking kill Starker after all this mess.
Order of murder. We'll hold it off for now.
Order of operations, PEMDAS and my aunt and all that shit.
I was about to say, Ray wouldn't know that mathematical reference.
So as you
we're
chatter
not doing that
amongst
one.
yourselves,
No. This is said as we're getting into a gun line. Look at how we're all standing here. The World War I and II vet. We've got the two wise-ass Vegas mobster types. Between the three of us, we have 3 guns and a sword, or 2 swords.
so as you're sort of moving into position and maybe talking a little, a shadow starts swirling up, almost as if a smoke starts circling the entirety of the circle. And you start smelling something sweet. An incense of some kind, perhaps. The candles change from a black flame to a blue, and the chanting gets louder and louder and louder.
So, fire off a few bullets and see what happens before we can't even see what we're shooting at.
So who's firing off the first round?
Fred, do you want to do the honors? After you're done typing.
Nice. Okay.
That is a good one-liner.
So is that, do you want to deliver that as Fred makes his roll?
Was never one for Joe James anyways. Bang.
And is this a full auto or
No, it's not full auto
Doesn't
in this
matter.
case though, because I'm not right next to him. I can't afford to like spray out
true.
all of my ammo and hit fucking what's his dick.
So perhaps
altar.
perhaps the distance, perhaps the smoke and the shadows, but
Fuck.
the shots just ring out in different directions. And at this point,
Fuck.
Ryan Howard pulls a gun out, takes a few shots in your direction. You want to make a avoid harm there for me, George?
Son of a bitch is supposed to have a sword, not a gun.
Well, he was in the army, so.
As a joke. He's multi-classing!
Son of a bitch is a fucking wizard and a fucking what is it, artificer? Cheater. We're only level 1.
So George, you want to do avoid harm for me? Yeah, your reflex?
I'm sorry, I thought you were talking
Fuck,
to
that's
someone
you.
else.
No, sorry. I'm talking to you.
You going in for the second shot there, Fred?
Ooh.
Ouch.
All along, that was Burrow's secret mission.
Yeah, it was to off you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually why I was sent out here. It wasn't about fucking
Fuck.
Starker or any of that shit. It was just to kill George.
So, as he fires off
Alien
his...
flashback intensified.
So he fires off his short burst, and one of the shots sort of ricochets and it sort of bounces around the room slightly, and like a stalactite sort of crashes down towards George, and he tries to leap away, but it pierces into his shoulder. This stuff here, for the record, is like like kind of like sheet metal rock. It's just like I'm trying to think of like a flint or something, where it's just very sharp, very nasty, not fun to touch. But George,
Obsidian, question mark.
maybe, I'm not sure your characters know what that is, but yes, I would say obsidian's fair. So
Obsidian is also black, like the rest of this place.
yeah. So George winces in pain and is actually quite wounded now. He's halfway through sort of safe health.
Fell over on the ground,
Armor
writhing
not
in
help me
pain.
at all.
Yeah. So who's taking the next shot?
I mean,
Kind of curious. When I saw Fred take his shots, did it seem like the bullets were avoiding anything? Like, were they being affected by the circle as it was passing over to hit our guys?
Oh, that's kind of fun. Maybe it looked that way to you, and you're not sure whether it did or did not affect it.
What's the circle made out of? Like, just looking at it, what does it look like?
So it's
Aside from
carved into
obviously
the ground. There's chalk, and it's got like a liquid sitting in it.
Does it look like blood?
It could be. It's definitely like darker in color, like black.
It's blood. The
No.
blood banks there.
No. Is it viscous?
Yeah, it's not moving too much. If it is blood, it's coagulated.
What do I smell? Oh no, because the fucking incense. Never mind. I'm not gonna smell
Yeah, you
anything.
do smell a lot of incense right now. The chanting gets louder and louder, and the blood
Ray is
pouring from Starker.
struck by a thought.
Okay.
Kneeling down to put the barrel of the, just gonna using the barrel at the front of the Tommy gun, just gonna just disturb the liquid. Tell me,
Okay.
would I recognize it as like fuel, like like pitch or gasoline or kerosene, something,
Okay.
or is it just blood?
No, I think Ray would make the assumption it's blood and not a fuel. But that would
But
be
if I can
fun.
smell it by getting that close to it.
Yeah, you might be able to. Give me investigate.
Oh god, the things my character is shit at. I love it.
Yeah, Ray's not quite sure what the.
That couldn't be a bigger failure if it was a 0. Jesus.
Yeah, he's not quite sure what it is.
Well, while they're preoccupied, Fred's gonna, attempt round 2.
Okay.
Going in for the kill on George?
Again, how would I be shooting you? You're to my left. Or right. I can words.
Also, the reason I didn't know you were talking to me is because I'm used to Barrowed having to roll, failing his shot, and then rolling a successful dodge.
I like it. Okay.
Also, are we seeing a pattern here where we're getting doubles of failures each time this shit goes on? And it's
Oh,
always the
it
same
was a
number?
triple this time.
1 second, guys.
But yes, there is a pattern, because how many times have I said this shit is rigged? I do not trust roll 20.
Damn, I was really hoping that was going to be something that I could, like, yell at Fox and say, hey, light that on fire. Like, throw your lighter at it. Or skid it into it since they're kind of, impaled in the shoulder.
Well, I mean, obviously this is out of character, but if blood is so fucking sacred to them, cover the fucking barrel of the Tommy gun in blood and use it to shoot at them.
Shh, don't tell Ruffle what I'm doing before I do it.
He's not even here.
Doesn't matter.
You could be here, just not
Oh,
talking.
I'm here.
I knew it.
You
Well,
were
no,
here.
this is verbatim what I was going to say because I have to explain this since Borrowed ruined the surprise. By the way, nice to see we're thinking alike. Was
Okay.
that
Two
now the
stooges.
barrel? Well, now the barrel is coated in a patina of that blood. I was going to say, what would happen if I shot it at the guy? And then
Oh, that's fun.
try to make an attack roll
Okay, interesting. So Fred,
from my kneeling position with the Tommy gun raised.
so your shot rings out. This was just a short burst again, right?
Yep.
Your
Because I'm
shot
trying
rings
not
out.
to kill Starker quite
Yes.
yet.
And it clips Howard in the shoulder, and he winces, but he keeps shouting and shouting and shouting. And as he does so, he's now more fervently into it. He begins to sweat. He's like feverish. His eyes glaze over somewhat, and it was almost as if the pain and the blood that he spilled onto the circle behind him only fueled his efforts. And at this point, these strands of blood that are streaming out of Starker headed up into the ceiling, out past the smoke. They begin to lift him, spinning him, spiraling him, almost as if he was a ballerina, as if he was like a puppet, playing with him, and he slowly starts rising. And Howard continues his chant. And as he's chanting, he fires off a round at, let's gonna say he shoots at probably Fred, who's been shooting at him. I think that's fair. No, he only has a handgun, but he does fire in your direction. So
This is such a bad idea.
you roll avoid harm -2 because of the damage of his weapon.
Wait, I was rolling to hit him with +2 because of mine.
Yeah, but so their damage is like takes away, like, so how it works is enemy damage is taken away from your dodge chance, and then you would add your armor to your dodge.
So it's kind of like adding a +1 or +2 then.
Yeah, so you roll whatever your avoid harm is, +1 for armor, -2 for their, like, the damage of the gun, essentially. So you're at a plus or a -1 net on top of whatever your avoid harm is. Rip.
Oh look, it would have been a success.
It would have been too, yeah. So a shot sort of clips your arm. You wince in pain, and you unfortunately have to knock that off your hit points that you've taken a shot to the arm. So who's up next? Ray, you said you were going to do something?
Devis.
Sorry, sneezing.
Bless you.
Thank you. Well, I have a question. Before I make my decision, now that things have evolved since my last moment, how far off is Starker hovering off that altar dais? What have you?
We'll say he's probably about like 2 feet up now.
So he's kind of blocking my shot.
Yeah, unless you're going for like a gut shot on this guy.
Oh, this is a bad idea. All right. Ray puts his foot over the chalk line as if scraping through it.
Okay. So as you do manage to scrape some of it off the ground.
No,
and-
but I'm taking a step forward to see what happens to me when I break that little chalk circle.
Oh,
Was it a chalk circle or was it carved into
it's
the
both.
ground?
There's
Yeah.
chalk as well.
So
And-
there's blood channels and a chalk circle, or
Yeah,
Mhm.
the chalk's around like the outside, and the blood channels make up the rest of the iconography. And as you pass through it, you feel lighter. You feel as if another like slice of your humanity has been lifted from you.
Oh. One step already. Might as well take another.
As you keep walking, you feel lighter and lighter, as if the weights of the world have no meaning to you. And of course, Howard notices this and starts pulling his gun on you.
Aim low. I'm trying to get to the altar to get Starker before he's out of reach and he starts floating off into whatever the hell's upstairs.
Okay, so you're firing at Howard?
Yeah, but I'm moving, so I'm just trying
Okay.
to clip him. I'm not like really making a concerted effort to kill him. I'm just trying to
Give
get
me
to Starker.
a violence roll there. Nice. So you manage to hit Starker in the or sorry, Howard in the stomach. And
Because if I've hit
no, that'd be
game
bad.
over.
Yeah, so you hit Howard in the stomach and he sputters blood, and he screams out a few last words in his chant, and you hear a hush as his voice echoes around, and he looks. He says, "It doesn't matter anymore. It's done." He begins to run deep into the recesses of the room, sort of running up in this direction.
Well, what a perfect opportunity to take a shot at him as he's going this direction.
Okay, so as
Aim low, go for the legs. I want him disabled, not dead.
Okay, that's fair. So give one more
just
shot.
aiming at him. I want him dead.
Give one more shot as he runs away. Nice. So you clip him in like sort of like, oh shit, Fred.
So that means I disabled him, but when he went down, borrowed shots went over him and missed.
Maybe like clip Stark
The
or
DM's
something.
just like, no, you poor fool, no.
Yeah. So you do it, and you see Howard fall onto the ground, and just gets shredded by all of this slate cutting into his body. His blood's just pooling everywhere. He whimpers softly, and then you hear silence. All of the candles in the room go out. Starker lifts slightly higher, freezes, completely immobile. Here, from above, over the smoke, distant moans and a scream, intensifying, louder and louder to a deafening crescendo. None of you can hear anything anymore. Something begins to drip down from above. Blood becomes a rainfall. It starts flooding the room. It starts pouring in so it's above your ankles. Head spins,
Grabs-
everything swallowed by darkness. What are you doing?
Game's over, I guess.
Oh, not yet. Yeah. The world itself seems to change and twist as if it's being pulled out from under you. Feel sick and dizzy. In the stumble. Sharp
Thank you.
gravel
That's what I was
slides
gonna
under
do,
your
actually.
feet.
So you've got two brutes just tackling this floating body out of the air.
You got one brute and one smarmy shit.
Yeah. And at this moment, a creature steps forth out of the shadows. Just to give you a pretty little picture there. And they're actually, normal size. They stand about 10 foot tall.
Normal size, 10 foot tall.
Yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
they don't take up 4 fucking tiles on a
Yeah,
grid,
yeah,
right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So, maybe roll keep it together, everyone? You hear a clanging of bells off in the distance. As if for your funeral. Nice. Fred is like, fuck this shit, I'm out. He's
Fred
fine.
doesn't give a shit about the painting or the monster or any of that shit. He
I love
doesn't
it.
speak French. He's just here for Starker's ass.
Yeah. Okay, so Ray's the only one who's a little shaky. I like it. And as this creature appears, she is thin. Well, she being sort of a loose way of describing it, but they're thin, almost emaciated. Say 10 feet tall. Her wrists are cut and eternally bleeding, and she's singing. Hymns pour out of her mouth, although it doesn't move, and she moves towards Starker, ignoring all of you.
Who gets to Starker first? Us two or that bitch?
If you're running for Starker, I would say Ray could grab him before she would get to him.
Which I do, and start backing out of the circle.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a reflex roll. As your
Since he got there first, can I try and shoot Skeletron?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, give me a engage in violence, sir.
Is there a
That was reflexes, by the way.
okay, question. Could I use spray and pray but make the two additional targets be the same bitch because she's huge?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, unfortunately, we'd have to be. Yeah.
Okay, well then I guess it's fucking focused full auto then. Blarg.
Okay. So, yeah, you just dump full auto in that thing. Yeah. Holy
I actually
shit!
shot something.
Holy shit! Fred's.
It's the
I
climax
don't
of the story.
speak French.
Nicely done.
I know she's there. So yeah, you just unload, and it's like just chips of bone and flesh are just sort of popping off of this creature, and at this point, it looks directly at you, Fred, and it screams, and So you're gonna
One
take
evil
a
moment in my life.
yeah. So give me a keep it cool at -2, or keep it together. Sorry, at -2.
Fuck you.
Oh, nice. Still pretty good though. Still pretty good. So you're taken back, and it feels like you relived a past life somewhere and experienced the way you died generations ago. The agony, the sadness, all these overpowering emotions as she stares at you, and she just sort of starts like just keeps walking in your direction, and you feel the ground beneath you shifting, and it's sinking, and you're falling into a pit, and you can't seem to move out of it.
Is that what's actually happening to him, or
Uh, yeah, if people look over at him, the ground is like become like almost like a what's that called? The sinking
quagmire?
sand.
Quicksand.
Pit or whatever. Quicksand.
Yeah, like quicksand. It's almost like it's quicksand around him.
Well, I don't need to move in order to shoot the bitch. I still got more ammo in this drum.
How about you, George? What are you up to?
I'm sorry, I missed a little bit of that very last part. You said there's quicksand around what, Fred?
Yeah, under Fred. Yeah.
Okay, so in Ray's what, dragging Starker out of the circle?
Yep. Ray's
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
do that.
backpedaling because my arms are currently full of human and bag box of flesh and sea salt, something.
Hmm. Trying to determine the best course of action. How close is Fred towards the like exit of this place? And not Fred. Well, yeah, Fred and Ray, because he's like seems a lot closer to the creature than the exit.
Yeah, Ray's a little bit off. Fred and you are pretty close. You never really went past the circle.
Um, I think George is going to try and throw one of the bottles at it to both distract it and also potentially prepare it to be lit on fire.
Oh, that's fun. Give me a violence roll there, or reflex, whichever you think makes more sense.
I don't know what makes more sense, but it is kind of a combat roll, so combat move. So
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
holy shit.
So yeah, it smashes over her, and she stares at you and moves her arm, and you see like all of the dust on the ground out of the come out of the blood, and it's a swirling of these sort of paper thin pieces of rock, and they spiral and tornado towards you. Give me a avoid harm there.
I also want to say while he was throwing it, he kind of yells, "Get out of here!" Because he's trying to also like form a distraction.
Oh,
Also,
okay. So you're yelling that to Ray or to Fred or just
mostly
everybody?
to Ray, but to Fred also because he kind of feels like Fred's not gonna leave.
Okay.
Well, Fred's kind of half stuck in the ground.
That's fair. But also Ray's further away, so he's trying to get Ray closer to the exit. And I'm trying to find the avoid harm. I'm sorry.
So she is distracted by you currently, George. Give me your avoid harm. Oh fuck. It's not great. So
That's
these
okay. George fully expects to die in here.
so this tornado of like paper thin sharp rock begins slicing you all over. It cuts through your armor and it falls apart, shreds through your clothing, and you're bleeding from 1,000 angry cuts. Of course, take yet another point of damage.
All these rocks and shit missing me because I'm short now.
Does
Well, she's actually
she's
not aiming for you, so you're fine.
does a sword do anything against that sand shit coming at us?
You could try and
Try.
cut it, but unfortunately, you still failed your avoid harm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, yeah, failure, but he is wearing the armor.
Well, yeah,
like
I
that's
completely fluttered that. Yeah.
rock harder than metal. Anky.
Well, obsidian. Actually, it's quite sharp.
Supernatural obsidian.
Super bullshit obsidian.
Yeah, true. Oh, I can just started like fucking like flooding here. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, okay. So Ray, it's your turn. What are we doing? You just running full tilt with Starker over your shoulder?
Well, actually, I'm gonna as soon as I get towards this position where I can actually hand something off, I'm gonna give Fred the box while I'm pulling Striker, Starker, sorry, out of the circle, basically getting him clear of whatever this is. He's pretty much on the floor right there. Before I turn around and start shooting this too. And
Okay.
I want
Yeah.
to see if the blood on the end of my gun has any effect on this thing.
Sure. Yeah. Engage in combat. You spraying full auto there, or are you doing a short burst?
Ooh, I was gonna say full auto, but
Okay.
yeah, it's might as well.
All right. So yeah, the shots ring out, and again, like it's just chipping bone, flesh, blood, sinew. It's all like just flying out the back of it, and now it's
Did
like
moving him out of the circle have any effect?
you pissed it off.
Okay, good.
But the thing, so far this thing has just seemed alien, completely inhuman. There's been no connection, but in moving Starker out of the circle, you almost see an expression take shape of anger, and it howls in your direction, and inside your mind you hear chanting and singing and bells. The bells are just slamming. It's like the worst migraine you've experienced. Go ahead
Oh,
and give me
cool. That
a
that would be my first initial reaction would be to hold the trigger down even longer.
go ahead and give me a willpower roll there.
You sure you don't want a violence roll?
No, unfortunately. Good old
All right, so
willpower.
willpower.
Yeah. Okay, so that's not too bad. So you see, or you feel rather more than you would see, but blood starts seeping out your nose and ears, and you take a point of stability damage. And give me a.
Are you kidding? I've had worse nosebleeds from a freaking boxing match. Are you? No.
No, well, that it could have also kind of exploded your brain. So
That's true. That would be a
So,
serious
that would have been
complication.
pretty bad. Yes.
I'm feeling a bit anxious, but no other issues crack in yet.
Right,
Yeah, okay,
so
it was
your turn, Freddy. It's moving closer, and you can't move away.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna yell at Ray to get me out this damn hole, and I'm gonna yell at George to, like, I'm gonna upend the box so the flesh is sitting on the ground outside the circle. I'm gonna tell George to light the fucking flesh on fire. Because this flesh seems awfully important to them. And they don't like fire.
Oh, that's fun.
Is it gonna do shit? Ah,
DM, was there any discernible effect from the blood on the end of my gun or no?
Um, so yeah, I'm
Guessing
gonna
the sinew.
say maybe it felt the impacts more. Like most of the other shots were like just taking pieces out of it, but that seemed to like sort of plug into it, and it shuddered back somewhat. But it's still it's inhuman and impossible for you to tell if it's being affected by any of this. Aside from being upset, although Ray, as he's looking down at the blood on his gun, he's trying to piece things together. He does notice that Starker, who he left at his feet, still hard to see now because the room's almost pitch black, but these strands still heading out into the ceiling.
So there's a doorway, like, right here that has an overhang, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab him by the belt buckle and throw him into this little area here that actually has a ceiling over it, so he's not over this room where the blood is ascending.
Okay. So as you throw him, you see a few of the strands break.
Toss.
Sorry? Oh, okay, as you
Yeah, I'm
toss
not
him.
like just throwing him. It's more like
Yeah.
kind of pick him up and like, "Huh," as
So you
opposed
see-
to, all right, hold on, Professor. Woo!
You see a few of the strands break, and they cause physical pain in Starker as the blood now just starts gushing out of these little cuts that previously the blood was seeping up into the ceiling. And he starts coming to, and he's like, "Oh God!"
God's not here right now. Would you like to take a message?
Hey, listen. I know you're bleeding to hell and back, but listen, how do we stop this thing?
He looks back and he sees it, and he just starts babbling incoherently.
Slap him. And I mean hard.
Okay. So maybe he comes to a bit. But from
Hey.
what
Focus. How do we kill it so we can get you out of here?
what the hell is that thing? Where am I? Last thing I know, I
Good
was talking with
question.
Howard.
Another time.
The fuck is going on?
Listen, dumbass, that thing wants to kill you and us. The guy who brought you here is bleeding out on the floor over there. We're at crunch time right now. We're gonna die if you don't know how to stop it.
I don't think we can. Karita, she warned me of such.
What did Karita say? Focus.
She said that it can't. The amaranthine can't leave this place. She said it's bound here. It might be
Here
okay
is
if
in
we
the
can get.
room or here and wherever this place is?
I don't know where we are, but if we can get back to the apartment, I think.
Okay, how do we do that? We have 2 vials left of that here.
Starker just looks blank. He has no idea what the vials are or where are.
How did you get here?
I was with Howard, and he had me unconscious, and the next thing I know, I was here. George, it is your turn.
God damn it.
It moves ever closer.
Now might be a good time to backpedal, just saying.
I can't. I'm still stuck on the floor.
Yeah, right. You need to drag his ass out of there. I don't know if I'm strong enough to.
Well, have you burnt the thing in the box yet?
No. Also, I think Ray has some materials to burn stuff too, since we gave him a bunch when we were in the house.
Well, she's covered in alcohol if you want to try setting her on fire, or worst case, I mean, you could try pulling Fred out, or what do you want to do there, George?
Can we hear the conversation going on between Ray and Starker?
Yeah, you might actually. The room's like completely silent aside from the gunfire and stuff, and you would hear echoing of stuff.
The problem is she's kind of on us, so like it's not really viable to get out of here for all of us. Yeah, what the hell? I'm gonna try and throw the fire on her.
Okay.
And pass Fredo the rest of the matches so he can do whatever he wants with that box.
Fred's like, just get me out of here, please, God.
So what do I have to roll? Violence?
Violence, yeah, throw it. Nice. So you flick the matches or the lighter, whichever you had at her, and she ignites, and the fire quickly changes from a red to a black flame. And you see like chunks of her falling off. She's still moving towards you. She stares you dead in your eyes, and she gazes into them. And you feel as if your whole world is now upside down. And as if you start to explode from the inside out. Give me an avoid harm roll there. See if George can keep it together.
Nope.
Or sorry, endure injuries is what I meant to say. But either way, oh dear.
Slightly better, but nope.
Oh dear. You visibly see, as soon as you feel, 3 of your ribs burst out of your chest. And you just start leaking blood everywhere. It's at this point that our friend George has reached critical age. So you're basically, for the rest of the scene, George is pretty much on the ground. And if we don't get him out of this scene, he will die. And if he takes one more hit, of course, also he would die. But...
So, how bad's the flame damage?
She's, like I said, she's falling apart. A horrid screeching. The bells begin again, and you almost feel as if like a wind swirls up and is sweeping around everyone.
I have a wonderful idea. It's probably terrible, but we're going to try it.
Go
She's
for it.
standing right on the apex point of, like, I think 8 different lines of that shit.
Yeah?
I'm going to light that thing on fire from where I'm standing crouching next to Starker and Fred here.
Okay, like light the
Yeah, because that means it's going to travel the length of the circle, hit her, and avoid us.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of fun.
Plus, she doesn't like fire. She came from this stupid circle that probably fueled by whatever that liquid is. So I'm going to break the fuel to this fire and this ritual. Hopefully.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine
And
with
as soon
it.
as I said that done, I'm going to grab Fred by the shoulders and try and yank him out of the stand.
All right, so you know, the fire spreads quickly along the surface and sort of engulfs her, and it's now sort of it's like a dull gray flame is coming off of everything, and the smoke is unbearable. It's hard to breathe. Everyone feels like they're choking, and she's slowing her walk. She's stumbling somewhat, still moving in your direction. And with like a last sort of effort, she swings her arm at you, and it flies off and it starts disintegrating into yet another tornado of this black obsidian shards. Oh,
And then
give
I pull
me...
Fred out of the ground like a cork out of a champagne bottle.
Okay, so pop, Fred comes on out, and give me an endure injury roll there.
Who, me or Fred?
You. Well, I guess actually both of you would be hit by this if you're pulling him out as this is happening. So yeah, you can both make endure injury. As you're not really dodging, you're just kind of stationary and getting pelted by bullshit. Nice. And Fred, you get... Okay, I was going to say you get +1 for your armor. But so Fred does get deliciously sliced up. Less so than George. Certainly your armor is just piecemeal, but it stays on you. It's just riddled with holes, and you get slices all along your chest and your sort of a bit of your shoulder. But thankfully, Ray does get you up. And Ray, it looks like Fred took the brunt of the tornado, so you ended up being okay.
Using Fred as a fucking human shield.
Don't start
Yeah.
that shit with me.
That's it.
Unless I specifically say I'm using you for one, don't infer.
Hey, it was inferred I shot George on purpose.
Hey.
Twice.
Yeah.
It has been inferred by people, yes.
Twice.
Once,
And-
the second
No,
shot came from
the one in the
dickhead here.
tunnel. The one in the tunnel was a genuine fuck up. Let's be real.
You're trying to blame me for fucking Howard shooting you while we're here. Like, fuck off.
We'll do a ballistics analysis later of the bullet, but for now, let's focus on what's going wrong. All right. So, does Fred require patching up?
I mean, yeah, he's bleeding for sure, but
Like, how bad is it
all of you are
compared
kinda-
to how bad is it compared to George and
George is dying.
Striker?
Um,
And then our resident bleeding, leaking painter.
yeah, I mean, nobody's doing like well, but certainly.
Who's in? I'm trying to triage Raffle. Who's the
Okay,
worst? Aside from
Starker's the
George.
most important, and then
Yes.
George.
Well, if I looked at between the two of them, who out of them is worse off currently physically?
I'd say Starker. Yeah.
All right, let's go patch him, and I guess I can give part of whatever I've got to try and give to Fred to try and patch himself up and George up. Although I'm pretty sure by 1950s medicine, ribs out of the rib cage is one of those like, ooh.
That's
Kinda-
not good. So with a final howl, the wind sweeps up. She disappears. Although you see a glimpse of her figure moving in the wind, able to chase you, and the bells stop tolling.
Okay, let's get you plugged up here so you stop leaking all over the place.
So I'm out of the hole.
I've given you part of whatever medical supplies I've got. I'm using the rest to try and stabilize our painter primary objective over here.
So Starker coughs a little. He's like, if what Karita told me was true, this may not be her domain, but she's powerful here, and she'll be back soon.
Yeah, and you don't look like you can walk, so let's get you mobile before we actually have to meet round 2.
I'm gonna throw the medical supplies at George, and I'm gonna go fucking stomping over to Howard because I'm pissed.
I was going to say, which one of us is going to beat the shit out of him first? But I'm a little preoccupied with the one bleeding out at my feet.
I'm only bleeding a little bit. George is bleeding a lot more.
Yes, but wait, is George unconscious or still like able to self-treat?
That's a good question, actually.
I was going to say, before you go wandering off,
no,
like I
he's-
just come back and find a dead body with a first aid kit on its face.
So he's not unconscious. He's just sort of like prone. So
He's been in both wars. Does he know how to wrap himself up?
I would assume.
Fox, you gonna do that for me?
I mean, he's gonna do his best. With, I don't think he can really do much about the ribs.
Yeah, but I mean, the rest of you is full of holes too, so. Okay. Well, I need to go have a very violent conversation with Howard.
So
Is he even alive?
as you
I
get
don't know.
over to Howard's body, you immediately notice that he's not moving.
Okay, well, whichever hand had the gun in it, I'm going to fucking stomp on that one.
Okay, so as you stomp on his hand, a splurt of blood leaves his body, and you notice he's chewed through his wrist. Has bled out on the floor.
Well, that still's not going to stop me from taking out my anger. I'm going to proceed to start kicking him in the ribcage, complaining about, you know how fucking expensive this suit was, you goddamn piece of shit. Just fucking wailing on him.
Yeah, fair enough.
And once I've collapsed his ribcage, I'm going to see if he has anything interesting in that bathrobe.
Okay. So I'll say, aside from the knife, which just appears to be some sort of ceremonial dagger, it's nothing overly exciting. You find 2 more vials of that liquid.
If I have a pocket left that'll hold something, I'll put them in there.
Nice.
I don't exactly have a light, huh?
Yeah, George gave you a couple of his matches.
Oh, I suppose I do have my lighter.
Hmm.
Okay. I mean, just kind of look at Howard, look at his corpse. He was interested in that hallway. Now I'm just gonna grab. I was gonna grab Howard's corpse by like the foot and fucking drag him back over, not leaving his ass over there for somebody else to come fish up.
Okay, yeah.
Bring him back over to George and them. Lovely smear of blood across the floor, mushing the chalk off the fucking circle.
So, Sarkor's kind of implying they should get out of there really quick, right?
Yeah, but have I been able to stabilize him is the question.
Yeah, you managed to stabilize him. He's certainly rough, but I mean, you could get him to a hospital now and he'd be fine.
Is there any chance at all of stabilizing George here?
Yeah, no, George probably manages to bandage a few of his wounds, and then that gives you time to get over to him and patch the rest. He's able to move at this point, but he's, like one more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm basically supporting 2 nearly invalid individuals who are in extreme pain, and over walks Fred carrying something by a body by the foot.
Yes.
Do you think you could put down the dead guy and help me with one of them?
In a minute, I'm gonna go over to George. George, shake him a little bit. I need a Molotov.
What are you gonna burn?
The box and the body.
Oh, good call. Just before you burn the box, let's get these 2 a little bit further away from it, yeah?
Okay.
What was in the tunnel?
I don't fucking know. I don't got a flashlight. I only have a lighter. I ain't going down a tunnel.
We got our guy. Maybe we should just head on
Well,
home.
can we get back out the way we came in?
Maybe we need to leave through the tunnel. I don't know. Either way, I want to kill this prick again.
All right, fine. Burn the stupid box and whatever's left of him. What's down tunnel number 1?
I'm gonna put the corpse box fire over there.
So as you look down the tunnel, it seems to just descend into like an infinite hallway.
Okay, we're not going that way. I'm not a fan of infinite hallways after the last one brought us here.
That's fair, yeah.
All right, let's just start getting these 2 out of here. We'll see if we can get out the way we came in. If we can't, we'll come back and explore infinite hallway number 2. What was over here in number 6, by the way? I would have seen that from here.
Is that 6 or is that 9?
It's
No,
9,
that's
but
9.
it's okay. But it would be you just see like ceremonial robes and such hung up. Nice.
Okay. Well, since he's dealt with, I guess I can support Starker or George, whichever one of the 2. Start moving them away from chalk circle of doom.
Is there an exit strategy? Is there a door over there?
Well, I figured I'd be dragging the both of you back this way, and then we'd get to this little entry point.
Yep.
See if
So
we
when
can we Raffle, can we walk back out? And is it a one-way or is it a two-way?
So when you get back to the exit, you're looking at. It looks like a mirror, but you're seeing through it's reflecting where you are, but occasionally you see a glimpse of the room in Howard's house on the other side.
Is it a solid mirror or is it just a reflective surface? Something like you can press against and walk through, or is it unyielding?
Yeah, if you were to set your hand in it, you could feel it like move through it.
I think I found a way out. We can push back, I think, from here.
Well, if not, we can try hitting it with a vial first, see if it just goes the other way.
Yeah, but what happens if that locks it out?
Well, push it first. If it doesn't work, try greasing the door.
Nice.
Yeah, and if I lose my hand, all right, let's try it.
Come on, Georgie boy.
So it resists you. It's almost spongy. It doesn't want to let you fully push through.
Do I need to make a violence check?
You could if you like.
I'm saying, do I have to try and force it?
Oh no! It just like
Oh, okay.
you push your hardest, and it just feels like a sponge. Like how it gets harder and harder and harder the further you push in.
So will it yield, or do I back off?
It doesn't feel like it's going to yield. No.
All right. Well, it's not going to let us through that way. Let's try your vial approach, Fred. Stand back a bit while he throws it.
So you throw the vial at it, and it seems to soften. And instead of reflecting you, it now shows the room on the other side, and occasionally you see yourselves reflected in it.
Okay.
All
Try.
right. Let's get George out of here, and you can take them first. Leave me one of the vials, or two, in case we need both.
Well, yeah, I mean, try just putting your arm through first. You go through.
Okay, I guess Stoker and I are the test dummies on this one. Do we
And
make
so-
it through the portal?
You do, yeah. You get and sort of find yourself walking through and stumbling as all of a sudden you're back in the room where you left.
Can I
Okay.
go back and like tap on the?
Yeah, I mean, start dragging George through.
And as you're taking George through, he coughs, hacks up a chunk of blood,
Lovely.
reminding himself that he's maybe fought himself another day today, but his end is coming.
Just as an additional bit of spite, after we get through, I'm gonna take the gladius from George's belt or wherever he has it. I'm gonna stick it in the middle of the door, just as I hope somebody fucking walks into this when they're trying to walk through the portal, because it'll just be held in the air.
Oh, that's fun.
All right, so we've cleared it. We're back in hopefully our reality.
Yeah. And now, I think we call it for tonight, as it is a little late. But we've completed the scenario, and everyone, I kind of encourage, like, write down where you go, like what you do, how you end the scenario, because we are going to be able to return Starker to Mr. Pickett. Whether or not we think that's a good idea, like,
I'm
probably
more curious.
because
I want to know. I want desperately to know. Once we get him patched up enough and coherent, I want to know what the hell just happened, when this shit happened, who's Kurita. I
Okay.
want to know. I have so many questions. Like this went from being a all right, pick up a recalcitrant artist who doesn't want to share, to I'm having a midlife crisis and I'm not even 40 yet.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
Like, I mean, let's check out Ray's character sheet. We're gonna go to page 2 here. We're gonna check out how I went from being composed to anxious in critical stress areas.
yeah. Yeah, that's, oof.
It's not as bad as George, but damn it, my character wants answers for why this happened.
So that's fair. So yeah, if we type up what we want to know and what our characters do, and then we'll just all post that in like the Discord on the RPG, and then
I mean, there's one thing I'm doing before we even leave the fucking site.
You're paying me back, right?
Burn the fucking house down.
Burning the house down, yeah, 100%. Okay, so
All
we'll
right, well, I'm loading. Well, that's actually fair. While I'm loading these two up into the car,
Mhm.
he's setting about arson.
Well, and like I said, I'm gonna let the guards out beforehand. These ones.
Oh, you're gonna need help with the guy in the tub. Hold on, I'll help you get him out of there.
Okay. Yeah, if we just sort of post it there and we'll figure it out, and then I will message you guys shortly. I just want to read the rule book a little bit more, and then we'll get some characters rolled up to maybe to like a little campaign, which could be kind of fun, and we'll do it in modern day.
Yeah, Kult. This is a great game, and like the maps, the characters, everything. This is very fun. This was great.
Obviously, it's like I just got inexperience on my part. That's why I want to finish reading the rule book, just so I'm a little.
Also, Jesus, the ending there with that was harrowing. It was like looming death.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. Yeah, yeah. I wasn't sure how deadly it was gonna be, because you have man, like it's kind of like in Call of Cthulhu, anyone can kill you at any time because like a single like handgun shot does 1d10 damage. Like just a shit gun, and like you might have like 8 health. So like anything could just drop you, and you don't really get anything to do about that. Whereas in Cult, it's like you can take quite a bit of punishment, but a lot of things can hit you, and it can add up pretty quick. So it's kind of nice that it still feels lethal, but it's also like you don't just die on one hit. It's like it's okay. I can be hit like a few different times and get broken down. Yeah, it's kind of neat
Especially
though.
mentally.
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, and it's easy to recover from all this stuff. So not easy, but I mean, like in between scenarios, you have time to rest up. Sadly, yeah, I
You
got
also have mechanisms to try and help you rehabilitate as well. Like some people's coping mechanisms are alcoholism, tobacco,
Yeah.
familial connection. So it's interesting how each character has their own kind of like, all right, I'm in a bad place. What do I turn to when things get really bad?
Yeah.
So this is
I am gonna
interesting.
take
This
off
is
though.
fun.
Sorry.
Good night, Raffle. We know you've been up late with that 3-hour time difference. Man,
Okay.
get some sleep. Thanks for being a
Bye.
good DM.
Cheers.